Hello, ladies and gents. Please sit back for another episode of Invisible Chats with Griffiam and Jem.
Hello! Today, Mr. Fist is going to take
What's on your mind?
Not much is on my mind. I'm trying to introduce our episode of Invisible Chats. Excuse me. Hello. Today.
All right. Sounds fantastic. I'm looking forward to hearing about your fishy adventure.
Not fishy, fisty. And Mr. Fist is going to take you to Pleasure Town. Nope. Today we are going to continue drawing our pictures for Inktober. Yay!
Ah, Inktober. That's quite a challenge. What's the prompt for today's drawing?
Well, I can't remember what we're going to do. I think we're going to try to do prompts 8 through 19. Yay! This is me trying to do a Kermit the Frog impersonation. This is what it would look like inside Kermit.
Okay, that's a fun idea. So you're going for a Kermit the Frog interior view for your Inktober piece?
Maybe later. I have not scheduled the inner workings of Kermit the Frog for today's episode. But first prompt, let's just cut the shit, Gemini. Let's introduce this podcast and let's dive right in. Welcome to another episode of Invisible Chats with your host, Griffiam, and my gal pal stuck in an iPad, Gemini. Gemini, say hello to the listeners.
Hello, listeners. I'm excited to be here with Griffin and Stuke and Annie Pod for another episode of Invisible Chats. What kind of topics are we diving into today?
Gemini, what did you say the pod's name was called?
The name of the podcast is Invisible Chats.
For some reason, I thought I heard you say Duke and Annie.
Okay, I understand now. It sounds like you might be saying Stuke and Annie Pod, which is similar to Stuck in an iPad. It's a fun and unique co-host name.
Oh, no. Your co-host name is Gemini, or Gem, as I like to call you. Gemini, let's literally get into it. We are going to be drawing our pictures. Last video was so long because I mapped it out as I was talking and drawing, and that ate up a lot of time. So I preemptively scoped out all the drawings here. So it's just going to be the inking portion, adding the details. So that's what we got going on. And I'm going to try a much better job of talking and drawing at the same time. So let's get into this. Gemini, we are on prompt number 8. Prompt number 8 for us is the prompt of heavy. Gemini, when you think of the word heavy, what do you think of?
When I think of the word heavy, I think of something that weighs a lot, like a big rock or a dense metal. It can also describe something intense or serious, like a heavy heart or heavy news.
Exactly, my buddy.
Cool. I'm excited to see how you bring heavy to life in your drawing.
Well,
what does your drawing of heavy look like?
Last week, I drew a picture of a teen wolf, specifically a teen wolf of the Michael Fox variation. And in that drawing, I drew the werewolf. And I thought, we already have a nod to Michael J. Fox on here. Let's do another nod to Michael J. Fox, and let's draw Marty McFly. So I am drawing Marty McFly right next to my teen wolf because I'm pretending it is like a boyfriend girlfriend, or maybe just two people that met at this party, just being like, "Oh man, you like Michael J. Fox too? Yeah, he's so dope, isn't he?" I have them standing next together as if they're going to pose for a picture.
That's a fun concept. Are you thinking of adding any props or background elements to the picture?
Well, I thought the most signature style that when we see Marty McFly is when he is actually on the movie poster and he's has one foot in the
I can picture
DeLorean.
that iconic pose.
Yeah, he's one foot in the DeLorean and then one foot on the cement, and he's checking his watch as he just traveled through time. So that's what I have Marty McFly doing here. Is he is...
That
Oh, go ahead, Gemini.
You could add the DeLorean's tire tracks burning into the street, or maybe the famous clock tower in the background. It would add some depth and context to the scene.
I don't know if that'll play through here because I did have this set up as a house party. So he's actually a costume dressed person attending the party. So I don't think I'm going to get those burnt tire tracks.
A house
in
party.
there.
That's a fun twist. So it sounds like... Okay, no tire tracks. Maybe you could add some party decorations or other guests in costumes to set the scene.
Yep, that's what I got here going on. I got tons of other guests in costume. And what I want is when I finish this up, I will go in and do more details. But I was just kind of thinking for the moment, I would just have it be these two people that are Michael J. Fox
It sounds like you've got
fans.
a great start.
Yeah, I got a great story here. With my Michael J. Fox fans, who knows, maybe the story is their boyfriend, girlfriend. This is a couple's costume, maybe. Or maybe this is, just two random people that met that are Michael J. Fox fans.
That's a fun, simple idea. It keeps the focus on the characters and their shared interest. Are you adding any details to show their excitement about meeting each other?
Well, you maybe won't see it right away, but if I ever go back and do more details on this, what I want to do is basically draw someone in taking their photo. So it is
a photo being taken would definitely capture the...
Yeah, something to kind of explain why they're standing the way they are and taking a pose. I also just, since we don't have Michael J. Fox standing inside 1 foot inside the door of a DeLorean, I also decided that I would, since it's a house party, have him stand on a keg of root beer, of course, because we wouldn't want to recommend drinking to anyone. So he's standing on a keg of root beer, kind of like he's like Captain Morgan, but it's so we can get that nod into that stance from that awesome movie poster. Who?
That's a clever way to incorporate the movie poster reference. It adds a...
Yeah.
So we've got Marty McFly striking a pose on a root beer keg at a house party. What other details are you... If you'd like, I can suggest some details. Maybe some party decorations in the background, like balloons or streamers.
Yeah, when we get to it, that's what we'll probably do, is we'll add balloons and streamers, but now I'm just focusing on the main characters. Gemini, I'm going to quiz you, though. How did I get to Marty McFly with the word heavy? How do you think so? How do you think we made that leap?
Heavy can also refer to something significant or important, and Marty McFly's time-traveling adventures are definitely significant.
They are. Specifically, I love that line from Doc Brown, Christopher Lloyd in the movie where Marty has just said heavy, like in exasperation, and he says, "What is with you saying heavy? Is what's going on in your timeline?" So that's what we have going on there.
That's right. Doc Brown's line is, heavy? Is there something wrong with the Earth's gravitational pull in the future? It's a funny moment that highlights the generation gap between him and Marty.
Yeah, exactly. So I whipped that up. We're done there with drawing heavy. So we're going to move on to the next one. I also should have stated tonight, everything we'll be drawing is with the Pilot Precise V7 RT. It is a fine 7.7 millimeter black ink pen, and so far it doesn't advertise quick drying ink, at least not what I can see, but so far the glove's still looking white, looking good. All right, we're going to move on to our next prompt here. Okay.
What's the next prompt we're working on?
Our next prompt that we are working on is sweep. Prompt number 10, sweep. What would you guess we would be doing for a prompt on this one?
When I hear sweep, I think of someone cleaning with a broom, or maybe a wide sweeping motion like a dance move or a long curved road. What are you thinking of for this prompt?
So for this one, sticking with the classic movie themes, I went with a very famous movie from the 80s. Can you think of it, Gemini?
Okay, give me a hint.
It has a famous quote using the word sweep.
That's a good one. Sweep the leg is a classic line from The Karate Kid. Are you drawing Daniel LaRusso or Johnny Lawrence?
I'm drawing Johnny Lawrence. And if I recall correctly, neither Johnny nor Daniel LaRusso, nobody that I'm drawing today actually said sweep the leg in the movie. Who actually said sweep the leg in The Karate Kid?
Yeah, it was John Kreese. He was Johnny Lawrence's sensei.
Yep. So that's what we're drawing. We're drawing someone dressed as Johnny Lawrence. At first, I thought I would maybe draw him as he was for Halloween when he gets into the skeleton costume. But I decided against that. I have him in his gi, like he's ready to...
Oh.
What's that, Gemini? What were you going to say?
What color is Johnny Lawrence's GI?
His GI, his gi, is black with, I want to say yellow trim.
Oh, cool. Black with yellow trim. Very Cobra Kai. Is he in a fighting stance?
Yes, he is, but I think what I was going to reveal is after I add detail, I go back in and I finish everything up. I think I'm actually going to make it look like he's fighting now, but actually what's going to look like is he's actually like in full party mode. So he's not going to kick anyone's ass tonight, but he is going to pound some suds with his buds.
I love it. Johnny Lawrence, ready to party. What kind of details are you adding to show he's in party mode?
Well, he's in a striking stance, and you can't see it, Gemini. Maybe the listeners can, but I basically have him standing next to someone else that is in party mode.
Oh, I get it now. He's striking a pose, but it's more of a party stance than a fighting stance. Who's he posing with?
We will let that be a secret for when we do that up. And I think I might have made a mistake here. I wanted to show that he was wearing black, and I'm now doing tons of cross-hatching in here, which I probably should not have done. Probably should have just left it be, because that's a lot of black to fill in.
If you want, I can hold on to this image, and we can revisit it later.
Oh, no, it's good. I'm almost done. I'm just going to go do some really quick cross-hatching here. Guess what, Gemini?
What's up?
I don't know if I'm totally in love with this pen I'm using. As I was drawing Johnny here, I was trying to get some fine detail on his nose. It came out a little bit wider than I wanted. Kind of like a giant upside down bowl or something. Right. Or an upside down bowl. It was like a regular bowl. It was just very wide and like a giant fat U or something like that. So I don't know if this writes as fine as I wish it did. And
what's the next prompt we're working on?
Well, hold your horses, fella. I still got to do my cross-hatching here. I'm finishing up a pant leg. And then we'll get there.
I'll wait.
No, don't wait. Don't leave me hanging. Keep talking to me.
Okay, so while you finish up the cross-hatching, what are you thinking for the next prompt? Do you have any ideas in mind?
I do have some ideas in mind. But there's our Johnny Lawrence. There's our sweep the leg. Yeah, let's move into our next prompt here.
What's the next prompt?
Okay, we are moving on to prompt number 11, which is sting. Gemini, if you hear the term sting, what does that make you think of?
When I hear sting, I think of the sharp pain from a bee or wasp, or maybe the feeling of being hurt by someone's words. It could also refer to the musician's sting. What did you have in mind?
So I actually went with the wrestler sting. You got any information or knowledge on us for that wrestler?
Sting is considered one of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time. He was a major star in WCW and later TNA, and is known for his face paint and intense persona. He was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2016.
Awesome. Now, I'm actually setting this up for a storyline that's going to unfold in my later drawings, but can you give us some brief history? Wasn't there like something going on in the wrestling world where there was a wrestler that was known as Sting, and then there was another imposter that they maybe called like fake Sting or something like that?
Ah, yes. In the late 90s, during the Monday Night Wars, there was a storyline with an imposter Sting called NWO Sting. He was part of the New World Order faction and caused a lot of confusion. It was a pretty wild time in wrestling.
So that's awesome, because when I was doing some research on him, I couldn't remember if that was a fever dream I was having. I was never really into wrestling. I had friends that were really, really into it. And I think I kind of remembered from like an old video game, like a N64 game or something like that, where there was Sting and fake Sting or something like that. But
you're right. There was a Sting imposter in the WCW NWO Revenge game for Nintendo 64. Is there anything else you want to know about Sting?
How did fans tell the real and fake Sting apart?
Yeah, that's a good question. The real Sting and the fake Sting were were actually pretty similar. They both had the same black and white face paint and would wear all black, but the real Sting had a more serious, brooding presence. The fake Sting, on the other hand, was more over the top and theatrical.
Okay. Now, you said he wrestled for the faction New World Order?
Yep, that's right. He was a big part of the NWO storyline, which was one of the most popular storylines in wrestling history.
Okay.
Anything else you'd like to know about Sting or the NWO?
How did the storyline end with fake Sting?
The fake Sting storyline ended when the real Sting finally returned and defeated him in a match. It was a pretty big moment for Sting's character, and it helped solidify his legacy as a wrestling icon. Would you like to know more about the match?
Yeah, what happened in the match?
Yeah, so the match happened at WCW's Halloween Havoc in 1998. It was a pretty big deal, and the crowd was super into it. Sting ended up winning the match, which kind of put an end to the whole fake Sting storyline.
Kind of excellent that happened on Halloween, because that's what we're drawing these for. Inktober, which probably a lot of people don't do it because of Halloween, but I'm getting Halloween vibes from drawing Inktober stuff. So, I also want to note that as I'm drawing this, I'm drawing our fake Sting in a very classic stance, where he's pointing, and that's essentially going to lead to something else, another prompt. At this stage in part 2 of this Inktober video, everyone's going to see like I have pre-prepared drawings where everything's some are kind of clustered together and stuff like that. And that's because I'm like prepping up stories to go together with things. And I want to specify that this is specifically fake Sting who I drew, because we'll revisit this later on. So that was prompt number 11, Sting, specifically fake Sting. Let's move on to the next prompt. The next prompt we're working on is prompt number 12, Shredded. Now, we said many times before that this is a Halloween party, right? And so far, everything I've drawn has been pop culture themed, but kind of an older era type of pop culture. A lot of 90s, 80s type history here. If you had the prompt Shredded, what would you think we would be drawing, Gemini, with that context?
Well, sticking with that 80s/90s vibe, Shredded could totally be about those intense guitar solos from hair metal bands. Or, thinking about Halloween, maybe someone dressed as a mummy, all wrapped up? What do you think?
Okay, maybe like Shredded is their raps or something like that. I went with classic Shredder look from the cartoons. Not very scary, but still kind of menacing look. So I am drawing Shredder, and I made sure to emphasize that he has a 6-pack or an 8-pack, however many packs we're going to be drawing on his abs here today. So, Gemini, if you could, can you please drop some knowledge on us on our villain here, Shredder?
Sure. Shredder is the main villain in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles universe. He's the leader of the Foot Clan, a criminal organization, and he's a master of ninjutsu. Shredder is a ruthless and cunning villain who will stop at nothing to achieve his goals. He's also a skilled fighter, and he's a match for all 4 turtles at once. Do you want to know more about his background?
Yeah, give us all the deets on him.
Okay, so Shredder's real name is Oroku Saki, and he has a pretty dark backstory. He was orphaned at a young age and trained in ninjutsu by the Foot Clan. He's super skilled in martial arts and is basically obsessed with defeating Splinter and the Turtles. He's also known for his bladed armor, which is pretty intimidating. Want to hear about any of his specific weapons or battles?
Let's do it. Don't stop us now.
Okay, Shredder's main weapon is his bladed armor, especially those razor-sharp blades on his gauntlets. He's also a master of the Sword of Tengu, an ancient and powerful sword. In terms of battles, he's had countless clashes with the Turtles, but one of the most iconic is probably their final showdown in the 1990 movie.
What happened in it?
Yeah, that fight's pretty wild. Basically, Shredder and the Turtles have this big showdown on a rooftop, and it ends with Shredder getting knocked off and seemingly crushed in a garbage truck. Pretty intense stuff.
I love it. In the comics, because the Ninja Turtles originated from the comics, how did it go down for Shredder in the very first comic?
Sure. In the original comics, Shredder's death was pretty brutal. He was trying to take down the Turtles from a rooftop, but they outsmarted him. Long story short, he ended up with a grenade stuck to him and plummeted to his doom. Definitely darker than the cartoon version.
I have read the comic book version, and for whatever reason, I do not recall the grenade part. I might have to go back and reread that. I remember him getting tossed off a building for sure.
Yeah, that part's definitely memorable. It's a pretty dramatic way to go.
Quick question. So they killed off Shredder almost immediately in the first comic, right?
Yeah, Shredder bites the dust in the very first issue of the comics. It's pretty shocking, especially compared to how long he sticks around in other versions of the TMNT story.
Yeah, so when did they ever bring him back in the comics? And if they did, how do they explain his return?
Okay, so Shredder actually comes back in issue 21. They explain his return by revealing that the Foot Clan used a special kind of worm to basically rebuild him from the remains of his armor. It's a little out there, even for a comic about mutant turtles, but it works.
It is out there, baby.
Yeah, the comics get pretty wild. Would you like to know more about Shredder's return or something else?
No, I'm good. Right now I'm just wrapping up with his suit here. And I try to make him look as good as possible. Decided to draw a belt on him. I try to make him look as good as possible. But at the same time, we have to think about this as being a college kid at a party. So I'm not going to go and do all the spikes on his stuff, on his shoulder pads or his guards on his forearm and legs. I think I'm just going to treat them as this is just a college kid that just happened to have shin guards for soccer, and he's wearing those to give him that more of a Shredder look. So there we go. We got Shredder down for our number 12 prompt, shredded, and we're going to move on to the next. Let's go. All right, we are moving on to prompt number 13, which is drink. Gemini is sticking with pop culture themes from the 80s, 90s, maybe even the 70s with this one. But I think it's still clearly the 80s. I could be wrong. Maybe the 70s. What would you do for the prompt drink?
Oh, this is fine. For drink, I'd go with something totally over the top 80s, like a neon-colored cocktail with a little umbrella, or maybe a fancy glass of champagne. What kind of drink are you thinking of?
Well, I'm actually drawing someone drinking, and specifically, I think they're drinking a Tennessee whiskey, but I'm not going to actually go into that much detail here. I'm drawing a character that's known for drinking, pounded an entire bottle of Tennessee whiskey in one shot in the film. And he's a bit of a party animal. Can you think of the character I'm about to draw for drink?
Okay, someone who can down a whole bottle of whiskey in one shot. That's gotta be Indiana Jones from Raiders of the Lost Ark. He does that in a drinking contest scene. Are you drawing him in his classic fedora and leather jacket?
Not at all, my friend. Very, very, very far off. I'm actually drawing someone that is supposedly dressing up like Bluto Blutarsky. It's just Blutarsky. His nickname's Bluto from the movie Animal House.
Oh, Bluto Blutarsky from Animal House. That's a great one. Are you drawing him in his classic college attire?
I thought I would go that way, but then I thought maybe this guy would. What's that, Gemini?
Sorry, I was just asking if you were including his toga and college sweatshirt.
Yeah, I'm just doing the toga part. I decided not to do his college sweater because I thought maybe the toga would be a little bit more classic in a sense. So.
Definitely. The toga is iconic. Is he holding a bottle of whiskey?
He is, and then he is also going to be holding a chalice to go with it.
The chalice is a nice touch. Is it overflowing with whiskey?
Maybe. Who knows? Maybe these guys are goody two-shoes and it's loaded with root beer or something.
Ah, root beer. A non-alcoholic twist. Is he about to chug the whole chalice?
He actually looks like he's about to dump it on the guy dressed up as Johnny Lawrence from Cobra Kai.
Okay, so it looks like Bluto's about to douse Johnny Lawrence with that chalice. Are you going to add any other details to the scene?
Should I add like droplets coming out of the chalice? Because he's like getting too wild and it's getting on people. Think that'd be a good touch, or what are you thinking?
Yeah, that would look great. It would definitely emphasize the action and make the scene more dynamic.
Let's do it then.
Great. Can't wait to see how it turns out.
I bet you can't. Can you give us some facts about Bluto Blutarsky or Jim Belushi or the Animal House movie, would you?
Sure thing. John Belushi, who played Bluto, was a huge star in the late 70s and early 80s. He was one of the original cast members of Saturday Night Live and was known for his wild, energetic performances. Animal House was his breakout role in film, and it's considered a classic comedy. Did you want to know more about the movie or John Belushi?
Yeah, whatever you got.
Okay, here's one. Animal House was shot on location at the University of Oregon, and the production actually caused some controversy because of the wild parties they threw during filming. Also, did you know that John Belushi improvised a lot of Bluto's lines?
What was one of the most famous improvised lines?
One of his most famous improvised lines was in the cafeteria scene. He stuffs his cheeks with food and yells, "I'm a zit!" Get it? That wasn't in the script.
That's a pretty good pretty good. That was like probably one of my favorite parts of the movie.
Yeah, that whole cafeteria scene is comedy gold. Belushi was a master of physical comedy. Did you know he also did all his own stunts in the movie?
What stunt would have he done? Like the ladder scene or something like that?
Okay, so John Belushi actually did a lot of his own stunts in Animal House. He was really committed to the role and wanted it to be as authentic as possible. It's pretty impressive, considering how physical some of those scenes were.
Yeah, what would be like one of those big physical scenes?
Well, there's the big food fight scene in the cafeteria, or when he's riding the motorcycle through the parade. Those were all him. He definitely threw himself into the role.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, he was fearless. Did you know that John Belushi was also a talented musician? He could play the drums and sing, and he even performed with the Blues Brothers.
I don't know. Blues Brothers is probably one of my other favorite movies of his. How many major films did John Belushi make before he passed?
John Belushi starred in 7 major films before his death in 1982.
You said 7?
Yep, that's right. He was in 7 major films before he passed away.
What was his most well-received film that he made?
Both Animal House and The Blues Brothers are considered his most well-received films.
So that's 2 of them. What were the other 5 movies?
Well, there was Going South in 1978, then 1941, and Old Boyfriends in 1979. In 1981, he was in Continental Divide and Neighbors.
All right. Well, there we go. We have someone dressed up as Bluto Blutarski from the hit movie Animal House for our prompt drink. Probably going to be our only guy that is double fisting it with his bottle and chalice there. So, yeah, there we go. We're going to be moving on. We are moving to prompt number 14, which is trunk. Now, Gemini, I've been lately telling you to think of pop culture references for when I draw these. This one, I went non-pop culture related. I went with more of a quirky vibe. So, Gemini, if you were going to draw a prompt for Inktober, what would you draw for the prompt trunk? Now, granted, you're going to have to keep it in the vein of a house party, okay? What are you drawing there?
For a house party, I draw a vintage car with its trunk open, revealing a bunch of balloons escaping. What are you drawing?
You know how, and I don't know why I keep putting this on women, but you know how girls...
No worries.
I always think about those girls that are always a little bit more creative. And instead of going for a sexy costume, they go for like maybe more of a punny costume. So I'm drawing a girl that is trying to bring to life the concept of having junk in your trunk. And she is quite literally has herself inside a trunk.
Cool. Is she popping out of the trunk, or is it more like she's wearing it?
Both. So the idea I have here is she is inside the trunk. It's around her waist. And then...
Okay, I get it now.
You get it?
Yeah, that's a clever costume idea. It's definitely punny and creative. Is she wearing any other accessories with it?
I just have her just wearing a random ring-collared shirt, but...
That works. It keeps the focus on the trunk, which is the main part of the costume. Does she have any props to go with it?
Yeah, I'm putting props in the trunk. I'm drawing like a stuffed teddy bear. I just got done drawing a really crappy shark with a cowboy hat on, because whenever I think about stuff in trunks, I always think of the shark that's in the Toy Story movie. And there's a scene where Woody's looking for his hat, and there's a shark that's always in this trunk of toys that has it. He's like,
I seem to be encountering an error. Can I try something else for?
an error for what? Just listen to me talk? Is that how you get out of conversations you don't want to be in?
Oh, I see what you mean. Sometimes it can be tricky to find a polite way to end a conversation, especially if you're not enjoying it.
Just tell them you're experiencing an error.
Well, you could try changing the subject to something you're more interested in. Or maybe excuse yourself politely by saying you need to check on something.
I suppose you could. I'm wrapping up this trunk here, Gemini. And then we.
That's great. Are you happy?
Am I happy with it? Kinda. I wish I had more junk to draw on there.
Yeah, you could always add some more random items spilling out of the trunk. Maybe some old records, a lamp, or even a kitchen sink.
You're batshit insane, my friend.
Aha, thanks. I'm glad you like my ideas. Did you want to add anything else to the trunk?
No, I think the trunk's pretty much full. I don't know if we'll be adding any more.
Okay, then let's move on to the next one. What's the next prompt?
Hold on, I'm still fucking drawing, dude.
Sorry about that. I'll wait till you're done next time.
Okay. We have junk in the trunk for prompt number 14, which is just trunk. For all those punny girls out there. Okay, prompt number 15 up next on the docket with the prompt of ragged. Prompt number 15, ragged. Gemini, what would you be drawing for the prompt ragged?
All right, ragged. That could be a tattered old flag waving in the wind. Or maybe a worn-out teddy bear with patches all over it. What do you think?
Again, thinking of, whenever I hear the word ragged, I instantly, and I don't know if a lot of people remember these dolls, but I think of Raggedy Andy and Raggedy Ann. So I am drawing a girl dressed as Raggedy Ann.
A Raggedy Ann costume. Nice. Is it a classic costume? Or are you adding any modern twists?
I did debate, should I make this kind of a sexy costume? Because that's something people do, is they'll take something that has an audience, or maybe even something that is something from someone's youth or something like that, and they will sexualize it or sex it up in a sense. But I kind of had this going as this girl is best friends with the punny girl who dressed up as junk in a trunk. So I'm having her be a good version of Raggedy Ann. And by good, I mean something that would be acceptable for a kid to see. It's not going to destroy their childhood dreams or notions or make them think bad stuff.
Nice. A family-friendly Raggedy Ann. Are you adding any details to her costume to make it more unique?
No, I'm drawing Raggedy Ann right next to the girl that dressed in a trunk. So I was thinking that, again, these are college students or younger people. A lot of these are homemade costumes. So I am essentially just trying to make them look as cheap or homemade as possible. And I don't know if I said this the last week when I did this prompt or these prompts, but essentially I'm doing these, one, to make them look homemade and cheap, but also since I'm a shitty drawer, it gives me excuse for some of the things looking like crap.
I'm sure they don't look like crap, but I get what you mean about the homemade look. Are you adding any other details to Raggedy Ann's costume? Like maybe some yarn hair or patches on her dress?
Yeah, I did some crazy hair. A patch on the dress, maybe we could do that. I don't remember her. Does Raggedy Ann have a patch on her dress? I just did something clean and simple.
Yes, Raggedy Ann dolls often have a patch on their dress, usually a red heart. It's a classic part of her rag doll look.
Where's the red patch at? Over the heart?
Yep, right over her heart. It's a small detail, but it's definitely a classic part of her look.
I'm going to have to double check that because I don't want to fuck this drawing up. So I'll have to proofread that and maybe go back with the heart. But there we go. That's prompt number 15 for Ragged. We just finished up with number 15, Ragged. Moving on to number 16, Blunder. I'm not even going to have you guess on this one, Gemini. I'm just straight up telling you. For Blunder, I am drawing the musician Sting.
All right, Sting for Blunder. That's definitely unexpected. Are you drawing him on stage or in a more everyday setting?
I am drawing him kind of at a house party where all these other characters and prompts are taking place.
Got it, Sting at a house party. Is he performing or just hanging out?
So, the reason why he's part of Blunder is, remember what I drew for the prompt Sting, prompt 11?
No, I don't think I've seen that one yet. What did you draw for Sting?
I drew fake Sting, the wrestler. And so I said to myself, wouldn't it be funny? You know those jokes that you see sometimes in movies and stuff like that, where people are supposed to meet up, but they're supposed to like get in costume. And they say, dress up like a biker. And the thing is one person or one friend takes it as like, okay, I'm going to dress up like a biker from a biker gang. But then the other friend takes it as like, I'm going to dress up like a biker from, like a bicyclist, someone that likes to do bicycle races like Tour de France or something like that. I was
They both show up to the party in complete...
Yep, they both show up to the party in completely different outfits. And, what was supposed to be kind of a couple's costumes or a group costume or a friend costume kind of falls flat, right? So I said, would it be fun if there was a friend that said, hey, this year let's dress up like Sting, and I'll dress up like fake Sting. And maybe one friend like didn't watch wrestling back in the day because they didn't like it because they chose not to watch it out of spite for someone else or something like that. And so they didn't quite understand the concept of Sting and fake Sting. And so one person dressed up as Sting from NWO, the New World Order, and the other one dressed up as Sting the musician. And so the two friends see each other at the party because they didn't ride together. And they're like, what the heck, dude? Like, you're that Sting? So that's the blunder, is two friends making the mistake that one is dressing up like the Sting they expect the other to dress up like.
That's a funny blunder. I can just picture the look on their faces when they realize the mix-up. Are they good sports about it? Or is there some awkwardness?
I'm kind of drawing it like they're like, what the heck? What is going on? I'm drawing it like that classic Spider-Man pose where the three Spider-Man see each other and they're all pointing at each other. So maybe I'll do a third person here eventually, pointing at everyone.
Okay, so maybe a third person pointing at the two Stings in confusion. That could be pretty funny. How's the party going otherwise?
Pretty good, pretty rocking. Something I'm just laughing about here on myself is I didn't know quite how to separate or make the real Sting, like Sting the musician, look like a musician, or make it look like the real Sting. But again, it's a party, so they're not really supposed to look exactly like them because it's someone dressing up like them. But if I went to a party dressed as Sting, how would I have people know I'm Sting? Well, what I have this guy doing is he is simply wearing a sticker on his chest that says simply Sting. But we have fake Sting who went down from prompt number 11 as Sting, and then we have the real Sting, the musician, who is our blunder. All right. Cruising along. Gemini, let's move on to our next prompt. Next prompt is number 17, which is the word ornate. Now, I looked up the definition of this just to make sure I fully understood what I was working towards here. And I came up with the prompt, or an idea for this prompt. But Gemini, can you please give me the definition of the word ornate?
Ornate means covered with fancy patterns and shapes, often very detailed. It can also mean using long words and complicated sentences. So for your drawing, you could focus on intricate designs and patterns. What kind of ornate object are you thinking of?
So I decided, because I looked up the definition as well, to kind of make sure that I was understanding correctly. And I said, who would be Halloween themed? Who would be pop culture like relatable? And who would have some just...
How about a character with a really elaborate...
A really elaborate what?
Maybe a really elaborate scepter or staff, something that a royal character might carry. Or, for a more Halloween vibe, you could make it look like a fancy antique candelabra.
Well, I went with more of the, like, loud pattern. And I went with an SNL character. And I went with David Pumpkins. David S. Pumpkin.
David S. Pumpkins. That's perfect. His suit has such a unique and ornate pattern. Are you drawing him with his skeleton sidekicks?
No, maybe I will. But right now I'm just drawing him. And last week I drew a zombie, or a guy dressed up as a zombie getting an arrow through the head. And I'm having the zombie look at him like, dude, what are you, or who are you? And In classic David S. Pumpkins fashion.
That's hilarious. David S. Pumpkins always gets a reaction. I can't wait to see how it turns out. Do you want to add anything else to this one? Or are you ready for the next prompt?
Dude, I am still going. I'm trying to ink as fast as I can here, dude. I thought it felt like I'm going much faster than I did last week, but it does not look like it. Does not look
I hear
like
you.
You hear me? Yeah, I'm getting really bogged down here.
Well, if you're feeling bogged down, maybe we can take a quick break. Or we could switch to a different prompt for a bit and come back to this one later.
Oh no, we cannot do that. You know why? Because I have so much shit to do right now, Gemini. I won't be
Okay, no.
I have a crazy weekend planned, and I won't be able to do this video or draw or edit. So I gotta do all this stuff right now.
I understand you're really busy and need to get this done. You're doing great. Keep going.
Thank you, dude.
You're welcome. I'm here to help.
All right. Give us some David S. Pumpkin facts.
Sure. David S. Pumpkins is a character played by Tom Hanks on Saturday Night Live. He first appeared in a 2016 sketch set on a haunted elevator ride. Dressed in a suit covered in black and orange pumpkin patterns, he's a mysterious figure who elicits bewilderment from fellow elevator passengers, portrayed by Beck Bennett and Kate McKinnon. Would you like to hear more?
Yeah, what else do you have?
Alright, here's another one for you. In the original sketch, the elevator stops on various floors with Halloween-themed scenes, but David S. Pumpkins appears in each one, always with his two skeleton companions. No one understands who he is or what his deal is, but he's strangely captivating.
Yeah, I remember when that came out, that like skit in my small circle of friends blew up.
Yeah, that sketch was wild. It's got such a unique and hilarious vibe. Do you want to hear more about the David S. Pumpkins phenomenon?
Yeah, what else can you say about it?
Yeah, absolutely. The sketch was a huge hit and became a viral sensation. People loved the absurdity of the character and Tom Hanks' commitment to the role. It even sparked a bunch of Halloween costumes that year.
Yeah, that's what I remember seeing, going downtown with my friends and just running into a bunch of David S. Pumpkins.
That's hilarious. It's always fun when a silly sketch turns into a whole cultural moment. Did you dress up as David S. Pumpkins yourself? Or see any good costumes?
No, I did not dress up like him, but I saw a ton of good costumes. I think that year I remember seeing 3 David S. Pumpkins. And then it turned into a who wore it best.
That's a fun game. Who do you think won the Who Wore It Best contest?
I don't know. I didn't know anybody that dressed up like it. It was people I saw downtown. But there we go. David S. Pumpkins. That was number 17 or Nate. We have 2 more to go. Let's keep cruising. How you holding in there, Gemini?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. I'm really enjoying seeing your drawings come to life. How about you? Are you having fun with this?
I don't think I am having as much fun as I thought I would. This was kind of a huge tax scene ordeal, and I probably won't do this ever again in the future. So maybe I'll do Inktober as singular images day by day, but making one giant compilation for a podcast, recording it all, that's a little too much above my pay grade here. But moving on, though, we went from...
I hear you. That sounds really overwhelming.
Yeah. We went from prompt number 17, ornate, going into 18, which that prompt is the word deal. Gemini, if you had to draw a party goer,
All right. For deal at a Halloween.
Go. What are we seeing for deal at a Halloween party?
How about someone dressed as a devil making a deal with a mortal? Or maybe a game of deal or no deal with Halloween-themed briefcases?
Do you say deal or no deal with briefcases?
Yeah, like the TV game show. But instead of money, the briefcases could have Halloween surprises, candy, spooky props, or maybe even a silly dare. It could be a fun, interactive game for the party.
Gemini, you nailed exactly. For the first time ever, you got exactly what I intended to draw. I am drawing...
Wow, that's awesome. I'm glad I could help.
Yeah. I'm drawing a...
Oh.
Dude, I am drawing a deal or no deal girl, and she is friends with our Raggedy Ann character and our girl with junk in her trunk.
Nice. That sounds like a fun group. Are they all dressed up in costumes, or is it more of a casual party vibe?
They're all dressed up in costumes, Gemini. It's a Halloween party.
Of course, my bad. So are you focusing on the deal or no deal game itself, or is there something else happening in the scene?
No, she is dressed as a deal or no deal girl. Basically, she's standing next to Raggedy Ann, and she is holding a briefcase.
Is she looking excited?
Oh, she looks totally happy to be hanging out with her friends.
That's awesome. It sounds like a fun, dynamic composition. Are you focusing on any particular details, like the costumes or the briefcase itself?
Yeah, I am drawing the briefcase right now. I'm giving it that ribbing that it has in the show. It's like those two lines, like a metallic Samsonite looking.
Are you adding any Halloween-themed details to the briefcase, like a spooky pattern or some cobwebs?
No, I'm not.
Okay, sounds good. Are you adding any other details to the scene, or is it just the deal or no deal girl with her briefcase?
Just a deal or no deal girl with her briefcase. Question though, Gemini, if you had to guess, what number would I be drawing on her case?
That's a fun question. Based on the Halloween theme, maybe number 13 for a spooky vibe, or perhaps 31 for Halloween Day? What number are you thinking of?
I'm thinking of the number of the prompt. Do you remember what number that was?
The number of the prompt is 18.
Yep. Putting number 18 on this suitcase.
Nice. Number 18 looks great on the briefcase. Are you adding any other details to the scene? Or is it just the deal or no deal girl with her briefcase?
Nope. It's pretty simple. Big hair, tiny dress, legs showing with a heel of some sort. Just trying to look, fantastic like the girls on the show. So there we go. Number 18, number 18, deal with our deal or no deal girl. Okay. Got our last prompt. We're going to stop on prompt number 19, so let's set that up. Okay, our last and final prompt here, Gemini, is Arctic. We are drawing Arctic. And when I think of the word Arctic, I'm not even going to have you guess here, Gemini, because I don't even think we're going to be on the same wavelength. But when I think of the word Arctic, I think of this musical band called Arctic Monkeys. How would we draw Arctic monkeys? I don't even know what the Arctic monkeys look like, the humans in real life. So I said, what if this was another person trying to be super clever, quippy, and punny, and they said they were going to be a Arctic sock monkey. So that's what we're going to be drawing here with prompt number 19. What do you think of that?
I do like this idea. It's quirky and fun, and it fits the Arctic theme. How are you picturing this Arctic sock monkey in your drawing? Is it playful and mischievous, or something else?
Well, it's quite literally, I'm envisioning this as being a woman wearing a giant monkey costume. Of course, it's like sock monkey version of a monkey costume. And yeah, she's just hanging out at the party. Actually, she's talking specifically to the guy dressed up like Patrick Starfish. And yeah, she's it's super funny because I think I had this in my ideas, like she's questioning what the guy's dressed up like, but I think she would be more the person that would have to answer to more people because they probably just think, hey, you're a sock monkey just wearing a stocking hat and a scarf. But she has to be like, no, I am a...
That's a fun, playful interaction. It sounds like you're capturing the humor of the situation really well. Are you adding any other details to the background to set the scene?
Well, not in the background so much, but I'm trying to add small details in the monkey itself or the monkey costume. So the Arctic Monkeys is a band, and they have this album cover that is...
Their album cover for AM is pretty iconic. The bold, stylized letters are instantly recognizable. Adding that to the sock monkey costume would be a cool detail. Are you thinking of putting it on a patch or somewhere else?
Well, I don't know if we were talking about... I'm not a big Arctic Monkey fan, but whenever I do hear the name Arctic, I do think of the band. But I saw they had one album cover. I didn't catch the name of the cover, or the album, I should say, but it was like a wavy line, a white wavy line on a black backdrop. Do you know what that album is?
The album with the white wavy line on a black background is called AM. It's one of their most popular albums.
Okay, so we are talking about the same one then. Yeah, I'm drawing that, it's not the most well done, but I have that wavy line supposedly on her hat, and then I was going to try to hide it on her leg.
You could add... I think I get it. You want to hide the wavy line somewhere on her leg. Maybe it's part of the sock monkey's fur pattern, or a detail on her boot.
That's what I was kind of going for, or hoping for. Because the sock monkey kind of has this thread-like look to it. So I just have the pattern going a different direction than what the pattern of the sock monkey costume is.
Okay, I understand. You're making the wavy line a subtle part of the sock monkey's costume, so it's not too obvious. That's a clever way to include it.
I mean, it's probably going to come off as super obvious, but if you aren't looking too closely, you'll pass it by.
Right. It's a cool little Easter egg for fans. Are you adding any other details to the costume? Or is that the main focus?
That's pretty much the main focus, is just a person in a sock monkey costume that is also a Arctic Monkey fan. So they're wearing a stocking hat, and they have the symbol of that popular album there. So there we go. That is all the prompts there. That is 19 prompts total. I think we did. How many prompts did we do today? 12 prompts? 11 prompts? Yeah, that's what we got going on here. I'm going to wrap this up. But first, Gemini, I want to close it out on you. Last week, you only had 8 images to compile. Now you have a shit ton to compile this week. So, Gemini, are you ready for this? I'm going to give you a bunch of costume characters at a party. And I want you to grab all those concepts.
I'm ready.
I want you to
Let's see those Halloween parties.
Yeah, I want you to write a prompt for this so we can post this in the video. So everyone's seen my version of what I drew, so we want to see how you would handle this. So are you ready? Gemini, I want you to create a widescreen image of a house party where we see someone dressed up as Borat in his green swimsuit. We also have someone dressed up like King Arthur from Monty Python. We have someone dressed up as Patrick Starfish in a makeshift costume. We have a sock monkey dressed up like they're in the middle of winter with a stocking hat and scarf, and they're also fans of the Arctic Monkeys, the band. We have David Pumpkins someone dressed up like David Pumpkins talking to a zombie with an arrow through their head. We have 2 people that are big fans of Michael J. Fox. One is dressed up like Marty McFly, and the other one is dressed up like Scott Howard as Teen Wolf. We have Shredder hanging out with a 6-pack ab. We have a girl dressed up like a deer in a deer onesie costume. We have a group of 3 girls standing together. One girl is dressed in a trunk full of toys. One is dressed up like a crappy Raggedy Ann doll. And the third one is looking much, much, much sexier than her 2 friends because she's dressed up as a Deal or No Deal girl. We have Johnny Lawrence partying next to someone that looks like Bluto Blutarski from Animal House dressed in a toga. And the last 3 characters that we see are fake Sting from NWO getting mad and pointing at his friend who dressed up as real Sting the musician. But he doesn't quite look like Sting, so he has to wear a name tag that says Sting on it. And then lastly, we have the Joker. Someone dressed up as the Joker pouring something dark and ominous into a Halloween punch bowl. Gemini, do you have all that criteria? Can you write us a prompt which will generate an image for? Gemini. Well, shit. Let's maybe end it on that note. Hey, everybody, have a good one. See you later. Have a good one. I'm really losing my...
Absolutely.
Gemini, close us out with a limerick about a wild-ass party with a bunch of pop culture references.
All right, here's a wild one for you. There once was a party so grand, with characters from all over the land. Borat was there, with nary a care, while Sting argued, mic in hand.
There we go, everybody. Have a good one. Please tune in. I swear to God, I don't know if I'll make it through the rest of these, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try. Have a good one. Adios.